Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are finally crafting for spring. So let's get right into the video. Okay, so for my first project, I am going to be sublimating this Make Market mug from Michaels. And I am going to be using this design that has a butterfly and a book. I am so trying to become a book girly. I would say I'm in my book era, which I'm actually loving. I have not been a book lover or even like books all that much, if to be honest, but I am so happy that change is always possible, and I have been reading more, and I have actually been enjoying the books that I've been reading. I've been listening to some books. I have been reading some books. So it's been good. The library has been excellent, has been so helpful, especially when I want the physical book. So yeah, it's been going well. So I just figured let's make a new mug with a butterfly, of course, because with spring and summer comes butterflies. So I'm going to do the book and the butterfly. I already cleaned off my mug with some alcohol. I have my mug press here, and we're gonna get the design on the mug. Now, I think I sized this right, but then again, I'm feeling like it may be too far over near the handle. So I might cut this down so it's not too close to the handle, but of course not too far away. Let's see, because right now here's my handle and I'm putting it here. And when I bring this over, look how far over it is. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and cut it and just lay them down separately. I thought I sized it better than that, but clearly I did not. So we'll just do it one by one. Of course, with sublimation, I'm gonna wipe it again. Y'all heard me say this time and time again, with sublimation, it is very possible, even on mugs, to have blue speckles, like blue dots, on your blank when you are finished sublimating, and we want to avoid that as much as possible. So you want to make sure your blank, whether it be a mug or a t-shirt or anything you might be sublimating or using, what are those sheets called? Infusible ink sheets. If whatever you're using, when you're using those types of things, you want to make sure that your blank is as clean as possible. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it right there and add some tape. So last week, if you even noticed, I didn't have a video to go up, and that's because life got so crazy last week, and because I am behind on pre-recording some of my videos so I can have an abundance already ready, I could not have anything posted. I actually had 2 funerals to go to last week, and for two ladies in my church that I have known since I was born. So literally all my life I've known them, and I would definitely say one of them was extremely sudden. No warning whatsoever. So yes, last week was pretty hard and pretty busy. So I'm back, and you know how grief goes. So, but yeah, that is why I did not have a video up last week. I'm just gonna cover this up with tape. This way, I don't have to worry about, we don't have to worry about any of the ink bleeding through the paper and possibly getting it on the inside. Plus, what you also could do is use either butcher paper or parchment paper to cover your design. In this case, I just figured, what the heck, just cover it up with tape. I've done that many times in the past and didn't have to worry about any bleeding through the tape. All right, let's get this side down. Okay, so I have both sides taped and ready to go inside my press. I'm sure you probably heard that chime before, so my press is ready. And I'm going to add this right into the mug press. And I'm gonna close it. And what we're waiting for are these 5 lights here to light up. So what I'm gonna do is just put this in and then work on something else while this is going. All right, we're gonna move this back there and bring out the next project. So I have this little block here that I purchased from Hobby Lobby. It actually came with a saying already on this side. It says, be you, do you, for you. But I didn't. I wanted to use the other side. Now, of course, you could definitely paint this. I thought about painting it. I really did. I was thinking about painting it white. And I just decided not to. I know that it's like a lot of things that I have is either white or did I just ruin this? I just ruined it. Oh, crap. I just ruined it. Oh no. Okay. Well, don't be me. Don't do that. What I did was I wiped it with alcohol, and I really should not have. I probably should have just taken, I don't even know why I did that, but I should have taken the paper towel and just wiped it down. But you know what? We're still gonna work with it. Oh my gosh. I'm so mad that I did that. And if you can't see it, like, it's a little like faded and white here, and it wasn't like that a few minutes ago. So anyway, we're still gonna work with it. Next time, just wipe it off. Wipe it off with something dry. If it looks like it has a little dust on it, just wipe it off. All right. See, I'm making the mistakes so you don't have to. Okay, so we have this. So anyway, I saw this little sign, this block, and I was like, okay, I could do something with that. And I could have painted it now. I kind of wish I did, but you know, we live and we learn. And I'm gonna get these little pieces out. Now this part is very small. I'm sure you can't even see it. very small, very intricate. Immediately I'm going in with reverse weaving because there's absolutely no way I am going to try to weave this out any other way. So I'm just going to cut a piece of this transfer tape and then pull back this backing here, this little backer, and put it on right over top of the entire design. And then I'm burnishing the back. And then I'm going to take the backer off. Boom. And then from there, I am going to take off this area. No, don't do that. Okay, so from here, I will just pull this off, but we need that to stay, so let's stay, please. There we go. And see, so much easier. Although I don't think my dot to my eye stayed on there, but that is easy enough to fix. Let's see. It's so tiny because the word, the words are so small. Honestly, if my dot doesn't make it, I'm okay with that because it's so little. And you can still read the word without the dot being there. Oh my gosh. All right, y'all, that itty bitty dot that was missing, I was able to save it. Now I'm just gonna weed out these middles. Okay, so we've got it all. Okay, hold on. As soon as I was about to say we got it all weeded out, my mug is ready. So let's just lift this up. Let's see. All right, so I'm gonna take it out and just sit it off to the side so it can cool, and then we'll come back to it. Okay, so I have it all weeded out, and it says, wherever life plants you, bloom with grace. So, of course, it is springtime, and we've got to get, you know, the plants and the flowers begin to bloom and grow and all that good stuff. So I figured this would be a very good saying for this. So I'm going to put it here. I think I'm going to just lift this up for a minute just to make sure it's where I want it. Let's see. That looks good. Okay, let's burnish it. All right, let's get this off. All right, it transferred so nicely. Let's get these little plants transferred. So, I may have said this before, but I will say it again. I am not a flower girly. I don't particularly care for fresh flowers, and I do not like floral prints. So a lot of my spring crafts will have like butterflies and plants or more of the spring colors, just because flowers aren't my thing. And I mean, you just might catch one little flower coming in somewhere, but overall, not so much. So when I saw this, although it says bloom with grace, it also says wherever life plants you. So I was like, oh yes, wonderful. I can put a plant. So I decided to just put the plant on this one. And that's how it turned out. Once again, wherever life plants you, bloom with grace. All right, so there's this one. I am gonna clean up and continue to let the mug cool, but we'll go ahead and move to the next craft. All right, for our next craft, we have a kitchen towel. It is the Sublimation blank from Hobby Lobby. I'm not going to be sublimating on it, but as you will see in this particular video that we have adhesive vinyl, we have sublimation, we have some HTV and DTF. So we've got a few things going on here. I'm going to take this off, but with this towel, of course, you can sublimate. You can also use your infusible ink sheets. You can also use vinyl on this as well. So you have several options. Even if you have printable iron-on, you could use that as well. So you have several options when it comes to this particular blank. All right, I am going to weed these out very quickly. This shouldn't take long at all. All right, that was pretty simple. And so for this one, I do need to, before I even flip these over, let me lint roll this because I can definitely see some dust on it. Pretty sure that is from being in the store and of course just sitting here in my craft space for the time that I have had it. All right, so I have this butterfly. I actually used this butterfly last year in one, possibly two of my videos. And I said, you know what, let's use the butterfly again. I still had this DTF from last year. So let's make some use of it. Now this piece of it says, Alexa, make dinner. And this is gonna go in my kitchen, so of course it's fitting. It works just well. It works very well. And so many days I wish I could tell Alexa or Siri, somebody other than me, to make dinner. So, you know, just a little kitchen humor. And this is by Tech Wrap. If you're looking for any of the materials I used in this video today, you can find it down below. I am going to remember to link the fonts that I use. So I did create this Alexa make dinner. So of course I'll just put the I'll put the font information down below. I'm just trying to make sure that it looks straight. All right, and I'm gonna take this over to the heat press because I can press both of these at the same time. I just wanna make sure that I like the position of the butterfly. I think I like that. And I think there's some good colors to have in the kitchen for springtime. All right, gotta make sure this is all the way down. All right, I think we have it all down. I am gonna go, like I said, I'm gonna take this over to the heat press so it can all press at one time. It looks good. All right, let's go to the heat press. Okay, you guys, it came out so pretty. I really love it. You may have seen that I pressed it twice because DTF should get 2 presses, and I always like to give my vinyl an extra press just to make sure that it is on there and is secure. So it looks really, really good. I think the colors work well. Alexa, make dinner. Okay, so I think we can bring the cup out. Yes, the cup has cooled down enough where I can reveal the design. So I'm going to sit this off to the side and bring in the cup. And we have to go back to the heat press for the last project. So we're going to work on one more project after this cup. And I've already adjusted the temperature because the heat press needed to be hotter for our last. We're going to be sublimating, so I needed more heat than you would for vinyl. All right, let's see how this came out. So far, from what I can see, it looks good. Let's see. We're going to see it together. Oh my goodness. What in the world? That came out beautifully. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's do the other side. I mean, that is beautiful. And if you don't sublimate, but you do have a mug press, of course, you probably already know that you can use infusible ink. But if you're somebody who's thinking about getting a mug press, but maybe not the capabilities of sublimating, because with sublimation, you do need a sublimation printer, you need sublimation ink, and sublimation paper. If you're not looking to go that route, but you still want to get a mug press, you can definitely use infusible ink sheets. Okay, so let's see. Oh my gosh, these came out lovely. Sometimes there's some dust, white dust from the paper, so I'm just wiping that off. But this is awesome. Absolutely awesome. All right. Oh my gosh, my mug came out so good. I'm loving it. My book era mug for the spring. All right. So the mug is done. Our kitchen towel's done. Let's move on to the next craft. So the next craft is a wall hanging sign. I did tell you guys at the beginning when I was doing my Women's History Month wall hanging sign that I have been changing out the sign, but this month I figured let's reuse. I've been buying new things every time I change it out, but this is going to be the first time that I reuse a sign. So what I'm going to do is I already cut this out to fit perfectly in here. We're gonna cover that up But before we do that, I want to build the design on here first. But if you didn't see my Women's History Month video, you should check that one out. This was one of the things I made, but we're going to cover it. Okay, so I have all the pieces. There are so many pieces to this particular project. So much so that I do have it pulled up on my laptop so I can make sure I have everything where it should be. First, what I'm going to do is just place everything where it should be. All right, so my spring goes here at the bottom, and we have hello to go right in here. And then I have to spell out spring on top of this. So this is my offset. This design, I believe I got it from Design Space. I just typed in spring and looked through the options that they had, but it did not come with an offset. I added the offset because I knew I wanted something more to have the word spring stand out. So I just added an offset. And there. While I do this, I wanted to share this with you guys. So I had a subscriber to comment on a recent video, and at the end of her message, she wrote hashtag Val's YouTube crew. And I told her, I said, it's funny that you said that, because for a while now, I've been thinking of giving you guys a real name, giving my crew a name. So I told her that, and I said, I've been thinking about calling you guys CV crew, of course, for Creatively Val, so CV crew. And she was like, yes, do that. So shout out to Jocelyn for encouraging me to go ahead and just do it. And let's see, we're almost there. We have just these butterflies to add. So you guys are officially my CV crew. So I will be sure to acknowledge you as such. All right, let's move this down a little bit. All right, there we go. All right, you guys. So I keep forgetting that I needed a new bottle of my art glitter glue. And when I went to Michael's to see what glue they had, they didn't have that. They didn't have Barely Art glue. So I just picked this up, which of course I've never used before. So I'm praying it works, that it doesn't make a complete mess in here. But so I'm gonna go ahead and put some music on while I get this all glued down. So I have everything glued down. That took some time. I will be honest with you. It definitely took some time to get done. As you can see, I don't have spring down because while I was doing it, I thought that maybe I could use some adhesive foam dots. I got these from Michael's, and so I'm going to put that on the back of spring. While I do that, let me give you my takeaways from this glue. I think I still would prefer the Barely Art glue. This says that it will be, that it will dry clear, and it does for the most part, but I still feel like you see some, there's still some, what do you call these things? Still some glue that you can see. I also feel like I was just squeezing the bottle way too much. It was like very difficult to get out. And what else? It didn't spread easily. I don't know. I really honestly felt like I was using Elmer's glue. That's really what it felt like to me. So like I was squeezing the bottle like we used to squeeze the Elmer's glue, and it didn't really just glide nicely on the cardstock. So those are my takeaways from this glue. I don't know why I didn't go with the bigger. I have some bigger dots in here. I should have gone with the bigger dots, and I didn't even see them until just now. I'm gonna get these on and then come back. Okay, I got all the dots on, and the good thing I was able to get those little backing pieces off as I was putting them down, so that worked out really well. And I figured to add the dots just because it gives it another, it gives it some more dimension. And see, what I'm doing right here is just like scraping off excess glue. So that I don't particularly care for that so much, but yeah. But it still came out good. So there it is. Let's get it into here. All right, so I'm gonna add some glue. All right, let's get this in here. All right, and just push it on down. All right, it looks good though. It came out so nice. So I have my spring decor to hang up in my craft space. We have one more project I'm gonna clean up and bring in that last project. All right, so for my last project, I have my Sublimation keychains. I ran out of them, and you know, you guys saw me make a fall one. You also saw me make my winter one, so it is time to make the spring keychain. And I showed you the last time when I made my winter keychain. I'm sorry for the noise. When I made my winter keychain, I showed you that I let it hang from my pouch. So it's time to make a spring one. Okay, before I pull this out, I'm gonna bring in some parchment paper. All right. And see, even though I just pulled it out, there is something on it already, some lint. All right, let's start with this side. I'm just gonna cut this down, and my design just says springtime. You'll really be able to see it once it's on there, but I created this design. I used a font that I already had downloaded into Design Space, and I found this butterfly in Design Space, and that was it. All right, I need to be able to see where it's being placed. I think we're good. Yes, all right. So what I'm gonna do is I have to do each side one at a time. So I'm gonna put this down there and get my heat resistant tape, and I'm gonna tape it right to the parchment paper. This way it won't move. All right, I'm gonna take all of this to the heat press so I can do the other side, apply the other side over at the heat press. Okay, you guys, it's out of the heat press. I was about to take it off, but then I said, no, let me reveal the other side with them. Of course, I had to take it off the other side. So here we go. Oh my gosh. Do y'all see this? The colors are so vibrant. And the other side, so I am going to show you the other side. The other side, I had the placement off just a bit. So as you can see, it's kind of slanted over here. But listen, this side is the side. And it looks so good. I love it. I love it. I love it. And like I said, I made this design in Design Space using this font and the butterfly from Design Space. All right. Let's bring everything back into the camera. Okay, we have all the projects back in the camera. I have my new spring kitchen towel, my beautiful book girly mug, and my wall hanging sign for my craft space, and wherever life plants you, bloom with grace. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for my springtime keychain. I'm loving having these little keychains hanging on my pouch. So I'm so happy that I get to change them out each season. All right, so everything came out really good. I love them. I cannot wait to begin to use them or put them where they need to be so I can enjoy them for this spring season. I thank you all for hanging out with me for a little while as I did some springtime crafting. I hope you got some inspiration and that you will begin to do some spring crafting if you haven't started already. Don't forget to like the video, leave a comment down below. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing and joining the crew. And of course, if you haven't turned on your bell notifications, turn them on so you don't miss a future video of mine. Until next time, later CV crew.